Hey, this is Joe Larod from the Jabbawockeez crew. This is also...
I'm Kevin Brewer of the Jabbawockeez. I'm not also Joe Larod, but I'm Kevin Brewer, also of the Jabbawockeez crew. Who is the Jabberwocky? What is the Jabberwocky? Well, we are Jabbawockeez. Ryan is an honorary Jabberwocky. He was hanging out with Joe, little homie, around the inception, and when we did our first gig, learning the material, you know, well, I guess I couldn't say little homie because he's still kind of taller than us at that time still, but you know, he was learning a lot of, you know, like dancing type stuff. He was already in the scene, hanging out with us. We kind of had this little Northern Cali flavor, and then Ryan and Joe just kind of gravitated towards one another and formed the thing. So honorary Jabbawockeez here. We created the concept came from kind of just wanting to pivot from what was like normal in the dance scene at the time, right? You would show up to like a local dance competition. You have like, you know, like a bunch of different dance crews that were up, you know, just showcasing their talent. It'd be like 30, 40 people on the stage. I guess in some way for us, it kind of got a little redundant. You know what I mean? You would see people killing it, and then you see some people messing up, and then you'd be like, oh, that guy in the back, or this dude in the facials and all this other stuff. So we were like, yo, let's like change the whole dynamic of this. Let's make our group smaller. So, you know, it's more focused. We wanted to take away our identity so people didn't know who it was, or to take away the fact like, look at that guy, or that guy's my favorite, or what. We wanted to eliminate all that. And we just wanted people to focus more on the movement and the music, or at least how we were interpreting it. And so essentially that's really what birthed Jabbawockeez. Is big fans of Apple, you know, the company, and that whole thing with Think Different really resonated with us. And so we were trying to figure out how to encapsulate that concept in our field of what we're doing, what we love to do, which is dance. And so I think, you know, shout out Steve Jobs for Think Different, because essentially that's what we leveraged to change the game in the dance scene at that particular time, is wanting to be different.
And it was, bro. I mean, I remember when I first, so yeah, I was young. Mm-hmm. How old was I? I was like,
you was a teenager for sure.
I was like 13, 14 years old.
Dang.
We was like Future Shock.
20s, like I was late 20s. You were like mid 20s.
The big bros.
Yeah, we were definitely the big bros.
They were my ride because I didn't have a car.
Yeah. Trying to keep them out of trouble with San Diego. We understood, you know?
They did. They really helped me out, you know? And when I did meet you guys, it was like, I'd never seen anything like it, you know? So I had been doing Future Shock, rolling with the Culture Shock homies, seeing the whole birth, you know, it's like...
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we got to see, I mean, you guys, I feel like in Sacramento were tapped in another wave, you know? But I remember just the group thing, Angie Bunch, Anna, they really created this community, and I got to just be there. I mean, and there was my home away from home. So when you guys came through, you were the new guys, you know? And it was dope because it was like Kevin with the glasses. Yeah. I remember walking, I was like, yo.
Still got him.
He still got him. You know, I was like, how does this homie keep his glasses on with all this twirling and all this, you know? And I was like, I just never seen anybody rip it like that. And then Joe, with his style, it was like new Kung Fu masters coming into the land. That's what it felt like. It was like new Kung Fu masters. And I was like, man, so when you guys would like have me come through or want to kick it or have me come over to the crib, they were the first person to show me Xbox. I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, we were doing that.
Halo?
Yeah, Halo was the one. I think so.
Yeah, Halo, and then they put me on to like Dragon Ball Z, brought me into the whole world, and it was more because, you know, when I was studying, I was like, yo, these homies study movement.
Yes.
And excellence and just creativity. I'd never seen, you know, and then watching the storyline. So it really put me on a whole nother wavelength at such a young age. And then when you guys started Jabbawockeez, I was just honored just to be there, bro, just to see the whole thing. And it really did mark me, bro. So it was crazy. It was different. And I remember that first performance because it was cool. It was cool to be able to do that first performance. Remember what it was just the hat, the white hat with the ski mask.
And we were the first to do the ski mask.
With the ski mask, bro, and a white hat. And that's actually a vibe.
It is, right?
You know, it's actually kind of a vibe, right? And you just see the bobblehead with the white gloves. And I was like, yo, and that marked me for a long time, especially, you know, and being able to step away, and then you took it off and you're walking in the crowd and you're like, and you hear people talking about.
They don't even know though. They don't even know you standing right there.
Yeah, man. But I just really looked up to you, especially even after I moved away, saw everything you guys were doing, and it was just like, I knew it. We all knew it. It was coming, man. And God really had you guys on a path, and I know you guys have had your journey, but I know that, look what God's doing right in this moment right now, bro.
So evident. Like, there's no doubt. There's no doubt that the Most High got his hand on this, bro. Like, the way we've been moving and the bullets that we've dodged and just the tough times that we've endured, like, without getting, like, pandemic happened, bro. And entertainment is low man on the totem pole, bro. They only kept, essential businesses, and some way, shape, or form, our little boat was able to negotiate the storm and still floating. And then when everything opened back up, we were the first to bring entertainment back. So it was like, how we in our own imaginings, we can't think of everything and how everything's supposed to work out. It's got to be divine, bro.
Was there like a certain word that, what was God speaking to in that time? When things shut down, was like a certain word you held on to? You remember him talking to you?
I think what the ultimate message was, like, just team, bro, was like literally the team. Like, we definitely needed to, slimline, consolidate. We need to, we had a lot of people were a part of this organization. And then because we couldn't sustain everybody, we had to trim down, and we just, kept on those individuals that could help continue to move it. But yeah, it was weird, to ultimately see, like, it was like, oh, bro, it's just the flow. People will get over it. But then when it really started getting real, like, what are we going to do? So, the Most High just kind of really put this team together. And it's everybody that can cover all bases to run the business, right? We had a strategist, a business strategist, us with the creative, and then we had a team of individuals under us to help us to kind of express that creativity also. Yeah, man, it was definitely like I think in that moment when we decided to, okay, we don't have a show, what can we do? And it was really just time for us to reflect on what it was that we wanted to do moving forward. It's like we didn't know, how this thing was going to pan out, but we definitely had faith that that something was going to, like, he brought us this far. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would suck for us to just get crushed. And some business did, go under from it, but for some reason, I think it's that faith and just that time spent prior, all those years just in fellowship with the Creator, I feel is what kind of just at least gave me that peace. Like, you know what? I think we're gonna make it through. We got that right combination of people. I think it's gonna be okay.
God provided the people,
absolutely,
and the experience you had with Him, just having that faith in back storage, pulling it out.
Absolutely. It's like maybe I might have had that the little 5% that he had Joseph put in the kingdom. Remember in the time where they was feasting and it wasn't family yet? He's like, hey, just throw a little 5%. You start, we had to tap in, bro. When it came through, it was there. And all praises, like, he got us too, bro, for sure.
We met at Culture Shock audition, or was it? Yeah, outside.
Had to be something like that.
Something like that.
Culture Shock audition.
And I think Future Shock had some practices before Culture Shock, so then we would leave, but I'd see you guys walking in. I'd try to stay a little bit longer. Try to learn the dances, and then we just started vibing, just started hanging out. Joe, like a big brother, was looking after me, Kevin too, and we just started vibing a lot, going to the studio and just trying to soak up as much as I could.
And we was trying to figure out as much as we could, working it out,
Because we just moved to San Diego, and we just got, we were just like, oh, we tapped everything from Sacramento to the Bay, and we were like, what is this uncharted land?
Look at all these hills and these oceans and little lakes. We have to find, what is this weather? What are these vibes? These amazing vibes in San Diego.
Yeah, you're not gonna get a straight answer from us, bro. I'm gonna stop you there. You're gonna get these crazy answers.
Oh man, I started dancing. Man, so I was cheerleading You know,
I should not know that.
I was a cheerleader at first, and we used to share the rehearsal space with the YMCA in San Diego.
Oh yeah, okay, I remember
That gymnastics one.
Yeah.
And the tumble floor was right next to the hardwood floor, and they had this curtain that separated us. So cheerleading practice go on, and then I'd hear the hip hop music.
Yeah.
And I met Anna.
Oh, okay.
Anna would be over there teaching class, and so I met Anna. I was probably like, I'd be like 8 years old, 8, 9 years old.
Okay.
And so I was doing classes with her, and then we met when I was like 14, 13 years old.
Yeah.
By that time, I've been doing it for a minute. So yeah, that's how I got started.
Yeah, for me, I've been dancing since I was a young person. Also, my mom was like the dancer, I guess, of the family. I have a younger sister. It's just me and my sister. And like on the weekends, I feel like it was thank God it's Friday type vibes. My mom cut the music on and we would just be dancing. Anytime my aunt would come to visit her sister, we would throw the music on, and the OGs would want to learn the new dances from the kids. And we'd just be cutting the rug till like late. And so I think it was a thing that I was used to doing. So when it was like, when I saw it out in the world, like at high school and like, you know, we got the high school dance teams and stuff like that, I was like, oh shoot, let me try to get down with this, especially with the hip hop. I wasn't trying to do none of that jazz and nothing like that. But when I saw the hip hop, like people showcasing, then I was like, yo, I want to do that. This is not just something I do in my living room at the house. I can do this with homies. And so, yeah, I've been dancing since I was single digits, because music and dance was in the house all the time.
Yeah, I want to say the same. I started maybe like 10. I was thrown onto a stage, cultural stage. So I was doing like Filipino cultural dancing, performing, singing, all that stuff. Didn't know half of the words I was singing. But it was a fun experience being on stage and experiencing like how to project to an audience at a young age. And then that turned into high school and community and finding all these like cool things to be cool amongst your peers. And you're just like, okay, I just want to join that and be part of that. That turned into, hey, Punky knows how to dance. Let's ask him if he wants to dance with us. And then we're like, that's how I met Raleigh and like this whole community of people that, like educating me on the whole hip hop culture, music, all the way to graffiti, all the way to all the elements. And that led me to this high school where this guy finds hip hop, and I find him in the mix of hip hop. Yeah. And so I'm watching this guy doing backflips, being like the spectacle of the high school, and I'm like, who's that? I was like, who's that guy? I was like, who's that guy?
I was like a freshman or sophomore kicking it with seniors, bro, because the seniors were tumblers and I could do it because I taught myself. So they were like, yo, come over here. So I would do it.
And I didn't know him. Yeah. I didn't know him. I just was like, yo, who's that? This school is cool. This freaking hip hop is cool. Like, you know that hip hop is cool. I love kung fu. Yeah, and so that's where you just dove in, and then later on we reconnect, and then from there we really nerd out on dance. We really nerd out on dance, and then from there it's just like we just nerd out on dance. Like you said, then we find you, and you find us like nerding on other things. Yeah. And
that's what it was, bro. We just nerded out on dance, on just
music,
movement.
Yeah, everything.
I mean, it was the first time I've like saw people when you had memorized a whole beat, you know?
Yeah, like Shadow,
yeah, bro. And I was like, how is this homie doing this? Yeah. And I remember we'd be following, I remember one time I was following you home with somebody and you were in the car and you were like even getting it in the car. I could see your head moving in the headlights. I was like, this homie's always on, bro.
I always dancing, bro.
So it was crazy.